Hello and welcome to the F1 in Pubs Monaco podcast. My name is Paul Hadsley, doing a professional introduction for the first time, I think. And alongside me, ruined it by saying that, too late. Alongside me is Manish, Patel. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very much looking forward to the Monaco Grand Prix. It should be a good one.
Yes, and there's lots going on already. Michael Schumacher took pole position, but already had a 10-place penalty. It's 5-place penalty, should I say, from the crash with Bruno Senna in the last race, which we talked about on the last podcast, and we were, I think 95% blame to Michael was the kindest tip we got. So the 5% of blame was the kindest, because everyone was routinely dissing, if I could use that word, I don't want to, Michael Schumacher for that. It was a silly incident, wasn't it?
It was a silly incident, and had he not done that, then he would have started on pole position today, and it could have been a whole lot different. But we'll see what he can do from 6th, and he's still in for, I think, some strong points today.
A whole lot different is an understatement, Manish. A whole lot different means, let's face it, the way pole position's going at the minute, Michael Schumacher would have won Monaco. I'd have put money on that if he'd have got pole position. He knows Monaco, he's got so much experience. If he'd have been on pole, he knows exactly what it takes to win. Unless his tyres fell off, or, Michael Schumacher wouldn't put it in the barriers, he would win Monaco.
Yeah, but you have to admit, starting from 6th compared to starting on pole is different, though.
Yeah, it's true. We're going to go round and have a look. We're doing sort of a pub walk. Where should we go first?
Some female perspectives.
Oh, yes, all right, Manish, we'll go talk to the girls. Go on, you go talk to the girls. Go on, you ask them a question. Here we have, I can see by the name badges, Tiffany and Vicky. Hello, girls. I can't do that. Hello, girls. No, sorry. Manish is going to, because I'm weird, Manish is going to ask you a question. Go on, Manish.
I'll hold it. Your thoughts and predictions on the race today?
I think it's going to be a tough one. As a Button fan, I'd like it to rain so that he can just blitz through everyone. But I've obviously got a soft spot for the giraffe, Romain Grosjean. So I'd like to see what the Lotus can do today.
Yep, same here with the giraffe. I'm all for the French win. I think it's needed after 15 years. It's got to be done. And also I'm supporting Button because I'm British, and it has to be done. But it's going to be interesting with Schumacher coming through from 6th. So.
Interesting, Button coming through from 13th.
Exactly, but we know he's good.
Yes, but he's been moaning a lot this year, Button. But in this race, it's like there's no speed in the car and everything. So can he really overcome that at Monaco?
Yeah, because he's always been known to be so good on his tyres, and although Schumacher is the moaner of all that is tyre related.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other line. But no, I think Button can do it. And I think Raikkonen as well is a dark horse for today as well. Lotus do so well at its track when they were Renault as well. So I think they're the dark horses from the sort of near the grid.
True. Forget that Lotus were Renault and they were anyway. Cool. Well, dark horses. The girl with the Button tattoo, surprisingly backs Button. That was Vicky actually. Yeah, the Button tattoo. That's hardcore, isn't it? I don't think I'd have a tattoo of anything, but let alone Formula One. Because that's good. That's dedication. Come on, Manish. Yeah, you're the one person. I'm the sort of talker. You're good at finding people. Here's our boss. Let's talk to Peter. Come on, that's Peter. Let's get around here. Peter's. He's very loud over here, Peter. I'm going to stand right in front of the screen as well. Hi guys. Come on, I'm going to ask you some questions. I just said I was quite. We see Michael Schumacher on the screens now. Actually, we're coming up to nearly the parade lap, so we're very quick, and we'll get out of the way. I promise. But Michael Schumacher nearly did take pole position, but isn't on the first place of the grid. If he was on pole, would you think he would have won?
I think so. I think he's going to make up. I'm going to put some stake my reputation on him making up a couple of places on the first lap.
Oh, but I think he'll get one because Webber's rubbish at starts.
That's true. I'd love to see him get a podium. A podium would be a great result for Shuey this weekend.
That's true. And I think he needs a bit of a boost after his terrible performance in Spain. But yes,
I think Senna was all over the place.
Oh, you think it's Senna's fault?
Yeah,
that's the first I've heard of that because we gave it. You listen. In fact, you were here. We were talking about it on the podcast, and we gave it 95% Michael's fault.
I think Senna was all over the place in the previous lap, and he was moving back and forth in the braking zone. And I think Michael got caught out by it.
He's old man. He's got no reactions. That's why. No reactions.
Is that the excuse you'd give on the motorway if you slammed into the back of someone?
It's always.
Excuse me, officer. He was all over the place. I just kept up his backside.
People don't usually weave on the motorway. Though.
I had to swerve a number of times before I hit him.
He was an exciting bit at the back.
He didn't even hear that. It was a good line. And he didn't hear it. Mark Webber, terrible starter. That's it. I'm just going to throw you in further one at you.
What about Webber?
Yeah. Sorry, this is Meds.
Yeah. What, do you like him?
No, I just think he's a terrible start. I like him. He can't start to save his life.
I can't take my concentration away from his chin. He's got the coulthard chin. I commented earlier on. I wonder if they pick them out of the race every now and again, where you automatically become. I don't know. You know, he's going to be a dominant force at the beginning of this race.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the greatest of season.
No.
So he's going to
technically closer to Vettel than he was last year.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I think he could be a bit dangerous on this one. I don't know. I've got a feeling he's going to go all and sundry on it.
Yeah.
And it's like what people are saying. Schumacher's going to be like really going to claw his way back.
Ooh, is that some sort of? Is that the 5-minute board? I thought no, it's not. It's a casino.
Have you got a gambling problem? You're distracted by a roulette board.
I was a bit it's Monaco. It's Casino Square. So we're going to wander around and talk to more people. We'll be back later for after race opinions, probably.
Make a quick point.
Go on, Manish.
We talk about tyre strategy being key.
Yeah.
Today is going to be absolutely key.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's not a lot of overtaking places here.
It's true.
And I think the race could potentially be won in the pit stop.
These two are our friends, but they're eating. Do you want to quickly, in the middle of your cake, we've got Kerry here. Kerry, very quick prediction. Well, I know it's starting, so I won't interrupt.
I don't think you can really predict what's going to happen because obviously when I was reading online, it's like there's a different winner each race.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see 6. We've had 5. I want 6.
I think obviously if Webber's on pole position, he's got a good chance of getting out there. So
what did you say then?
if like Webber's on pole position,
He's not going to make a good start. It's Webber.
that's a good point actually. But you know, given the benefit of the doubt, we've been surprised in the last couple of races. So I think like I say every week really, you can't really predict anymore. You just got to see what happens.
Martin?
Yeah.
Predictions?
Whoever's in second and third place will most likely win.
You don't think Webber can start either, poor Webber. Keep tweeting anyway, we'll read out your opinions and we'll be back later. And we'll promise you we won't interrupt the race, so we're carrying on now. Anyone else got a quick opinion? Do you want to talk? No, people are shy. Get some drinks, more drink. Last thoughts, Manish?
I think this is going to be a pretty close one to call. I'd love to see a 6 different winner.
Yeah,
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a Nico Rosberg win.
Wow, Nico Rosberg. That's completely contradicted what you just said there.
It
He's
is.
already won.
It is, he has won, but Mercedes is good off the line. We've seen that this season. And
Mercedes do seem to have something this weekend, you're right, because they were quick. You know, Michael Schumacher's on pole and Rosberg would have been third, but now he's second. So yeah, that I'm going to go for. I want to see Lewis do it, and that will give us our 6th winner. I'm not really bothered too much, apart from the fact that I want to see the run continue and have a new winner. So Lewis or Webber, not Rosberg. Michael would be one, I suppose. So basically, I don't want to see Vettel, Alonso, or anyone that's won before win. Sorry, Pasta. Not that he's going to do right down there, but it was a good race last week. But then you got angry. Anyway, it's coming up to now the parade lap starting, so it's time we should shut up and let people watch the race. We'll be back with our little comments as the race unfolds, and then after race opinions. That's how this works. So see you in just a short while. We've got to get the opinions out immediately. We had a crash. Looks like Button and... Can I see Button part? There's no Button's part of it. No, there he is. Yeah, Grosjean. Yeah, I thought Button got wiped out by the Sauber that Grosjean knocked into, but he is well down the order. So a terrible start for Formula One, really. I'm assuming a safety car is going to come out.
very much so. Whether Grosjean, can't see where he's got to now, but if he's gone to the back of the grid, then maybe the safety car might not be required.
It depends. Yeah, they may all be in turn one, but Webber made a good start, which is amazing. We need to find out. There was bunching towards the pit, the outside board actually. There's still no safety car, so maybe they're going to try and. I want to see a replay, and we can apportion blame.
Yeah, we do need to get a replay to see what caused.
Surprising no safety. Oh, and someone else has crashed.
Maldonado.
Well, he's having a great weekend, isn't he? You can hear people in the background sort of screaming, and it was a very exciting start. Oh my goodness, the safety car. There has to be a safety car.
So you are right then?
Yeah, I was right. There has to be. Look at that. All those marshals. Monaco marshals are a little bit more daring. I think they have to be in Monaco, but I think sometimes you have to protect them from themselves. I think McLaren's got a lower nose now. Looked like they had the whole step nose thing. Who's that? Yeah. Oh, HRT no rear wing. How did this happen? At least he's coming into the pits and not launching a car off into the harbour like happened in the GP3 race. Safety car. So now is a good time for a replay because, it's all good really. Come on. There we go, replays. Right, look for Webber making a good start as we watch the replay. Hamilton didn't make a good start at all. Hamilton bunched people. Ex-Hamilton, really, I think, that made a bad start and bunched people up. Watch Hamilton from third in the grid. Well, this is a podcast, you're not going to watch anything. You could sim your watch if you want. Michael Schumacher got bunched to the outside and he's out. It was Schumacher, people shout. I don't think you could do too much about that. Then we need to... It was Schumacher. No, that was Grosjean coming across. Sadly, it was Grosjean's fault, but I think he was avoiding. And then he hit... Oh! I thought he landed in Button. But how did the HRT lose its rear wing? Maldonado hit him. Maldonado hit the HRT. Manish, you agreeing with this? You're just writing. Bang. Maldonado hit the HRT, but that was a separate accident. Wow. Hey, that's a good onboard shot. We're high above the hairpin.
Fantastic camera shot.
Yeah, we're liking that. So thoughts, Manish? Blaine?
Well, Maldonado went into the back of the HRT. Simple as.
Also, the Grosjean.
With Schumacher and Grosjean, you can't really blame Schumacher.
No.
I don't think that was purely accidental. He didn't. Yeah. There was no intent.
It's probably just a racing accident at the start. So, I mean, what can you do? But we like apportioning blame. I'd love to blame Michael for that,
but you can't.
No. But you know what the stewards are like. Grosjean might turn out of a penalty for that, but because they like apportioning blame when there's when people are just racing. But we'll find out anyway. I'm going to walk over here and try not to get in people's way. Tim, anything from that's Formula 1. We got our own hashtag though. F1 in pubs.
Yeah, but there's not much going on. Hashtag F1 in pubs.
That's me at the top. It's not read me out.
There's someone here, Emma Bracegirl, says made just in time for the start. Poor Rogo, but yay RBR.
Rogro is a good name for Robert Grosjean. Rogro. And there's someone F1 in Manchester said, I saw, I'm doing your job for you, but I wanted you to come on. Our official word from the internet.
We've also got someone here, Rossa S Ferrari at Rossa F1.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the pub already for the race. F1 in pubs. I assume that was just before the race started.
Nice. F1 in Manchester. I don't know if you're massive friends with. I'll go find Peter in a minute. They said they actually bet money on Grosjean. Yeah, no, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Oh dear. First corner. What are we seeing on the screen? Someone cut the chicane. John O'Byrne. This is actually no, it's not the hashtag. It's actually the account.
It's actually the account. Let's see. 1 second.
So you can also get your comments in by tweeting with the F1 in pubs hashtag. F1. There's a big crowd in London apparently. Huge crowd. Yeah. Anyway, let me know if there's some stuff comes up. Come over if you want them. Cheers. And more stuff from the hashtag later. Yeah. If you've got an opinion on the next race, obviously by then in Canada, tweet F1 in pubs and we'll gladly read them out. Lovely. So it's lap 61, would you believe? There's been no rain. No gain for this race, sadly. I've come up with my own little catchphrase apparently. But we've had more an intriguing race. I'm about to report for Scratch Radio, actually. So Manish, if my phone goes off during this, I'll just leave it to you to sum up. You can press the stop button here. What do you think about the race so far? We've got 15 or so laps to go. What do you think?
It hasn't been a bad race. We haven't seen many overtakes. No. We saw Alonso get past Hamilton in the pit stops, and we also saw Vettel get past Hamilton as well.
Yeah,
I think that's the only
the question I'll be asking after the race, the people here in F1 in pubs in the Après bar, is Ferrari are reportedly the ones having the bad season, and McLaren are the ones behind. If you know what I mean. Both Ferrari. Well, Alonso got past Hamilton, so he's ahead, and Massa's right behind. So both Ferraris in the top 10. But got one McLaren in the top 10 and one in about 15th at the minute. I mean, who's having the bad season here? That's Scratch. You better answer that yourself and press stop.
Birmingham supporters after their FA Cup triumph yesterday. Now we've got Paul Hadsley on the line from the RF1 correspondent as the F1 Monaco is underway. Are you there, Paul?
Hello, Scratch.
Yeah.
Calling Scratch.
Hello.
Hello.
There's about 10 laps left, I believe.
Just about over that, about 14 laps now, yeah.
Okay. How's it gone?
It's been more of an intriguing race rather than an out-and-out exciting one. Monaco just has this phase of being an absolute classic and the best of the year, or just sort of being too impossible for people to pass and sort of settling down into sort of a pit strategy race, and that's what we've had today. We've had Sebastian Vettel roll the dice on strategy. We've had a threat of rain. but annoyingly, they love predicting rain in Formula 1. Lots of rain, they're definitely predicting rain. Oh, lots of rain in 5 laps, in 10 minutes, they say. And still, we've had nothing but, not even a sprinkling, so it's a little bit disappointing in that regard. But so it's more intriguing and interesting rather than that exciting. But it's always worth watching this year with the tyres and such.
Yeah. Michael Schumacher won the grid yesterday in qualifying, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was on pole and then was given a penalty, and that put him 6th, right in the eye of the storm for the accident that happened right off the grid. There was a big crash, and Michael Schumacher's just been passed now. He might actually be having problems as I talk to you. He's been passed by 2 cars in the straight, so I'll go back and find out in a moment what's wrong with Michael Schumacher. But yeah, he was hit by Romain Grosjean off the start and clipped his wheel. Romain Grosjean span across the track, was clipped by a foul bar, bounced up into the air. So there was a safety car early on. It was a scary moment, but since then, there was a bit of excitement, but since then it's settled down. But it's an exciting start at the very least.
Sure, okay. Anything else to add?
I'm trying to just work out Michael Schumacher. Manish, what happened to Michael then? Come over here. I've got my reporter Manish with me for the podcast for you have to listen to later. And we do want tweeting with the F1 Inputs hashtag to get your comments on the podcast. But Manish, what happened to Michael there? Can you hear him? Yes. Yeah, come on, tell me. I'll relay your words.
Michael's literally struggling with his tyres.
Oh, Michael, he lost 2 places because he's struggling with his tyres. Well, that's terrible strategy.
Okay.
Which is okay. So we're just, that's a breaking story as I talk to you.
Yeah, great. I'm sure we'll come back to you later on.
Yeah, we just look like we're getting a good finish now as well, because as I say, Nico Rosberg is closed up right on the lead, so keep an eye out on the battle for the lead as well.
Yeah. Okay. Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll speak to you soon then. Thank you.
Then.
Bye. That was Paul Hadsley there, F1 correspondent, reporting from the F1.
Michael Schumacher is out of the race. Manish, I'm back from scratch, and you were on scratch a bit as well. They could hear you, but hopefully that will be part of the podcast too this time. Anyway, Michael Schumacher just had terrible issues with his tyres. As Jenson Button is about to go up, suddenly the race has come alive. What has happened is the tyres finally gone over the cliff and the race has come alive, because it has been more of an interesting race, I said on scratch, to repeat myself. Interesting race rather than exciting, and suddenly I go away and talk to scratch for 2 minutes, and I just saw, and there's rain on track, the umbrellas, the rain is finally here. Is it finally becoming more exciting? So, yeah, what did I miss in that 2 laps while I was talking to scratch?
Well, we saw that obviously Schumacher's getting out of the car now, so he's retiring from the race. Literally, he was struggling with the tyres. We saw Johnny in Toro Rosso get past him. We saw the Force Indians get past him. That's the only reason. I'm sure we'll find out the real reason. But his tyres, he was literally struggling. And
I did say on scratch that Michael Schumacher was the eye of the storm for the crash at the start. And I do mean that in the actual way, not the way people mistakenly say the eye of the storm. As in, the crash happened all around him and he got away with it. Is it finally, do you reckon, the damage? Maybe he wasn't the eye of the storm and the damage just finally got to him, or what? Do you know?
Potentially, that could have played a part in his retirement. You never know.
That's true. There's a yellow flag as we talk, so anything could happen. I want to sit and watch, really. I know we're talking, but there's a yellow flag as well. So, I think the tyres are finally going off the cliff, and we're going to have an exciting end, even if not the most exciting race we've had so far. The final 10 laps are going to be definitely worth watching, so let's keep an eye on it. So the final lap is beginning on the Monaco Grand Prix. It looks like the finish is kind of what we expected. The pole sitter, would you believe Webber made a start? The pole sitter again is winning. It's going to be our 6th different winner in 6 races if he can just hold it, which is great news. And we've had an exciting last 10 laps exactly. But has the race been good enough? We'll find out when we ask questions. I will be disappearing at some point to talk to Scratch Radio. Manish, you'll be running around asking people when I disappear. Still, this is the last corners, and I'm going to try any dives. No, it's all pretty much a formation finish, but it's a nice finish that everyone's so close. This is Formula 1 2012. This is what we like. Listen to the crowd. It's a popular win based on the small amount of applause you just heard. Right, let's go around and talk to people. Despite the start, I'll be disappearing as I say to Scratch. Hello. Who do we talk to first? Who wants to talk? Anyone? We'll go this side because they look more enthusiastic. We're talking to 2 Jenson Button fans who were the only person pretty much to crash out of the race. Sorry. Sorry, yeah, okay. I have to point it out. There's still people to finish, it looks like it. But anyway, what do you think? This is Tiffany and Vicky, or at Squiffany on Twitter. Was the random yellow flag just turned up? Oh well. What do you think about the race as a whole, and not just Button?
What about Giraffe? He's gone. It's Grosjean. Grosjean's a giraffe because of his neck. No, good race, obviously. I'm a big Webber fan, but the thing is, it's quite processional. The race was, unfortunately.
The last 10 laps.
Last 10 laps, but it's good to have the top 5 so close together. Yeah. But yeah, I thought something would have sort of come out of it, really. A bit more excitement. But
it's true. Manish, can you go find Tim so we can have our social media and our podcast? Sorry, he's our hashtag. I saw you were tweeting a bit, so. And the girl with the button tattoo, how disappointed are you?
A little disappointed about Button, but then I'm not a McLaren fan, so I'm not too worried.
The question I was going to ask is, Ferrari are apparently the team having a struggling season, and McLaren can't seem to, they think they have the fastest car and can't seem to finish, or do anything good. So McLaren, I want to cancel the whole Ferrari having a bad season thing, and maybe say it's McLaren who's actually struggling.
Yeah, I do. I think, you've got one problem, you've got, pit stops, they're hopeless, and I think some of their strategies are hopeless as well, whether it's Hamilton or Button. So, yeah, I think they've definitely got a problem somewhere, whether it's strategy or pit stops or just their speed in general, but they've never lived up to the hype since Australia, in my opinion, I think. So it's a shame, really. I'm going to see if they can just bring some updates and actually get as good as they're saying they are.
And as well, they've tried the new wheel-in rim system, which has worked a lot better this weekend than
what's this?
Wheel-in wind. I can't say it now. Wheel-in rim system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've actually McLaren put that into effect this weekend. So the pit stops. Yeah, it was on the coverage this week.
Wow.
They've at least they didn't have any problems pit stop wise. So that's at least one problem sorted. Hopefully.
Which coverage?
Sky coverage.
Oh, that'll be why. Fair enough. But yeah, so do you reckon they didn't make any mistakes in the pit stops anyway?
No, so that's a good thing. But yeah, McLaren have dropped off a lot since Australia.
And one final thought: the quality of the race overall.
Oh, it was a bit Valencia-like though, weren't it?
Yeah, sadly.
Unfortunately, a bit processional.
We'll go Canada first, which is great.
Yeah, got Canada. Canada would be good. And
we'll come in at 6 o'clock at night. That's the thing I've not thought about. Next race.
Oh yeah, next race is in the afternoon, isn't it? So yeah.
It's 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so. No, I don't think I'll be coming for that one, but we'll be here for Hungaro.
Well, I hope you'll be tweeting. Give us something to read out. Okay, that's brilliant. Fantastic. There'll be more people. And talking of tweeting, Manish, I did send you off. As Webber's pulling onto the grid now for his. They pull onto the grid in Monaco, which is weird. I'm going to give you this at any point.
Yes, will do.
Also, tell me what's on the social media. Come on, social media.
We're joined by Tim. Tim here. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. How about you?
Not too bad. Thoughts on the race?
Well-earned victory by Webber, definitely. And a couple of interesting crashes. Not the most interesting Monaco GP I've seen. As someone on Twitter here noted, Daniel Hill, he noted it's not the most interesting of Monaco GPs. After reading some of the tweets that were done in the hashtag F1 in pubs, fair bit, a few bits of advice. There was someone commenting saying that they need to preserve the tyres.
I'm off to scratch. We'll be back in a bit.
Someone saying they need to preserve the tyres as long as possible to prevent 2 changes if it rains, which was obviously speculated a number of times in the race. A couple of tweets about Perez acting a bit. Let's call it off. Because it seemed like he was desperate for drive-throughs. But that's the current standing really on what I've noticed on the tweets.
The race itself, you have to say, was like a procession, but last 10 laps, I should say, certainly livened up, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you had the top 5 races all compressed together, that that had the potential for something interesting to happen. But I still think the most interesting part, clearly the beginning of the first corner of the race. Now I can't remember where exactly Kobayashi actually crashed, but I did see a phenomenal picture of him about maybe a foot and a half in the air from that, if that. That was probably the most interesting part of the race for me, but still undeniable. The last 10 laps, pretty interesting.
We saw Schumacher start. You have to say he played a part in Grosjean's retirement, but it wasn't Schumacher's fault, was it?
Not at all, no. I mean, you have to think back to last race as well, where the crash. I can't remember who he crashed into last race. That was clearly his fault. But this one, nothing to do with him. It was simply the other fella's fault. going straight into Michael's front right wheel. Looked like an honest mistake. Can't really pin the blame on either of them, in my opinion.
Thanks for that, Tim. Mark Webber has just received his first place trophy. Fernando Alonso has finished third, with Nico Rosberg finishing an excellent second for Mercedes. And I'm pleased to say we've been joined by Vicky here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Thoughts on the race?
Not the most exciting race. Would have liked to have seen Michael do a bit more. He was unlucky again. But yeah, he got okay in the last few laps, but not as good as the first few races in the season.
And a 6th different winner of the season.
Yeah, that's always good. Although I hope the 7th one is Michael.
Think of it in Canada?
Canada's a good race for champions. That's my experience. If you've been a world champion, you're pretty good at Canada.
Now, I know you're a massive Lewis Hamilton fan. How would you sum up his race?
Well, actually, I don't think he looked comfortable behind the wheel from the start. He had a bad start, and then he struggled when the safety car went in. He seemed off his pace. So I guess 5th's good for that, but not racing.
And another disappointing race for Jenson Button.
Yeah, I think Jensen's lost a bit of his sparkle too, he's seeming to be a bit whingy at the moment. I think he seems to drive much better when the odds are with him. When they're against him, he seems to fall off quite a bit. So he needs a bit of good luck, I think.
I know that Jensen could do a strong result in Canada.
Yeah, I think they all could, but I think he's having the season this year that Lewis had last year.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Okay.
Latest at the moment is England leading by 10 runs with 3 wickets remaining in the first innings. Paul Hadsley is on the line right now, so we'll just go over to Paul. Are you there?
Hello, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Yep. And it's finished, I believe.
It's just finished, yes. So Mark Webber's just got out of his car and is waving and about to take the champagne in the podium ceremony. I've given away the result. Mark Webber won. So yeah.
How did it finish?
It finished. It was an exciting finish.
Yeah.
A much better finish than the rest of the race. As soon as I talked to you earlier, it seemed to have come alive. The second I talked to you, I looked away from the screen for 5 seconds. But it was a more exciting finish. We had the top 5 or 6 cars within 2 seconds. It was absolutely crazy, and the threat of rain, and people were spinning, and it was a nice end to the race. Even if the whole race itself was a bit, I wouldn't say processional, but it was more, that's my catchphrase, interesting rather than exciting.
Hello there. Sorry, Paul. Hello, it's Roy.
Hi,
sorry
Roy.
to interrupt. Hiya. I noticed the obvious thing. Webber's led from start to finish.
Yeah.
Was he just blocking them off? I noticed, as you've just said, they were very close together at the end. What happened?
Yes. That's the thing with Formula 1 this year. A lot of people do leave start to finish. The pole sitter won the race last time out, but the race was fantastic behind, and you weren't actually sure that was going to happen. Webber, his tyres went off towards the end, and if it had been any other track, he wouldn't have won that race, but it's Monaco.
He's able to block them off by his driving.
That's why everyone concertinaed up. And there was exciting moments. They had to get through back markers, and the back markers, Sergio Perez, Kobayashi, and the Lotus.
Yeah.
The Caterham now is actually. I've done that twice today.
Right.
The Caterham actually managed to hold up the leaders, but then they all continue back up again. So Webber was a bit of a Webber train, is the Formula 1 term.
Yes.
In Monaco, you can get a train of cars, and if one's slow, no one can get by. So Webber was holding a lot of people up.
It was.
But,
the other thing at the other end, Paul, as well, we're taking it through. I'm looking at the list of retirements, and at the top in that list is Jason Button. Again.
Jason Button.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Button.
Who that guy is.
There's quite a lot of retirements today. There's one thing, and secondly, it's Button again.
I can get you. There's a big Button fan base here in the F1 in pubs. We're in our place bar for those who don't know. Tweet us with your comments, please. We'll read them out on the podcast. F1 in pubs, the hashtag. But
Right.
there's big Button fans here. I don't know if you want me to get some interviews or something with them.
Oh, for later on, that'd be lovely. Yes.
Yeah, no, I could do it right now if you wanted.
Really? Can we do that on here?
I know, they're my friends now.
Are they?
I'll say, do you want me to doorstop people like
Yeah,
Martin
just
Bundle
warn them
does?
of the language, and then you'll be fine.
Okay.
Paul,
okay.
Paul,
Hi, girls again.
Paul,
Me.
it's Kevin.
I'm I'm not just talking on a phone. I'm talking on to Scratch Radio. Do you want to quickly say what you said to me about Button again? Well, we've got to go with Tiffany and Vicky are here. To say what you thought about Button's performances. Into this phone. Go on.
Hello, is that Tiffany?
Disappointment. Unfortunately, finish, which is a shame. But you've got to talk to the girl with the button tattoo.
All right, she's got a button tattoo. We have to talk to. Go on.
Of course, I'm devastated. Button's my baby, but I just think any to a different team, quite frankly, with McLaren's strategy and their pit stop skills. But I think since Australia, it just hasn't been the same for McLaren, for Button or Hamilton, really. And so I'm just really hoping Button can get his act together next in his favourite Montreal.
Okay, that was Vicky there. So thank Vicky for her opinion. But live on Scratch Radio.
Actually, it was very good. I've been picking up from that point, you're saying about Button is not having much success lately. You and I have talked previously, Paul, about the same cars, same setup. I mean, I heard that Hamilton was complaining about his setup for the start of the race, but Button's now mentioning things for the whole of the race. What is he getting wrong here? Well, if he knew, I suppose he'd fix it, I guess, yeah.
It is the issue of everyone thinks Ferrari's having a terrible season, and McLaren are the ones that seem to be messing up. Bad pit stops, not understanding the tyres. Look at the podium right now. Who do you see? Mark Webber, Nico Rosberg and Fernando Alonso.
Yes.
Apparently, Ferrari the one struggling. And yet, Hamilton finished fifth. Button was not even going to score points anyway before he had an incident trying to lap the Caterham. Oh, no, he was trying to pass the Caterham. He was stuck behind the Caterham all race, and that's the trouble. That's the issue. If you can't beat a Caterham this year, you're in trouble. And Jenson Button is not going to be happy. There are rumours that Lewis Hamilton is trying to, he wasn't happy with the team. He might be moving. Jenson, I don't know what's wrong with McLaren. They started the season with the fastest car, and it's all fallen apart, and I don't know what you can say about that. It's not what you need to win a championship, and they won't be winning the championship unless they turn it around very soon.
What happens with these cars is they don't stand still from the start of the season, though. They keep enhancing them, developing as the season goes on, don't they?
Formula One cars don't stand still, you're right, Roy. Oh dear.
Thank you, I like that one, Paul. No, the development on them doesn't stand still. They keep looking at getting an extra little bit here and there all the way through the season.
The way that the season's going is McLaren apparently there's a point made in the coverage that McLaren just don't know what's going on with the tyres, what's going on with their car. They have so much data in Formula One, so much analysis, and yet still they don't know why they're not fast. They think they should be faster than they are, and they don't know why they're not.
Well, I normally ask you, Paul, what you felt was the race of the day. Who do you think it is?
My man of the match, as you could say. I don't know. There's a lot going on today. Vettel tried hardest. Alonso made up some places. Michael Schumacher did well, apart from crashing around. I'm going to give it to Webber because he knew that, and I like the fact we've had 6 winners out of 6 races.
Yes.
I was going for anyone that was going to keep that streak alive. I'll be going for anyone that can do 7 in Canada in 2 weeks' time.
Right.
But, I'm going to give it to Mark Webber. He made the start, which was a bit of an issue with Mark and his start. He made the start. He held on despite his tyres falling off. He did well, but he did well. Basically, it's a good performance from the Grand Prix. His second victory there. It's one everyone wants to win.
Right. So it's Canada next time then.
Yeah, 2 weeks' time, and that will be an evening. We'll have to work that out with a scratch sport, but it'll be a 6 o'clock sort of job. So we'll find out how we're going to cover that one. But
it'd be a nice idea. Yeah, well, Brad's going to pay for your air ticket if that's okay. Is that right, Brad?
That'd be nice.
No, I think he's saying no. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Has to put it polite.
All right, thanks very much, Paul.
Okay, thanks, Roy.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Thank you. That was Paul Hadsley there, reporting about the F1. We're going to go to some music now with the temperature.
Well, that was the thoughts of Vicky on the Monaco Grand Prix. We are going to now try and talk to Peter Coleman. Hi, Peter. How are you?
Still hungover, thank you.
Thoughts on the race?
I think there was so much that could have happened there. It's Monte Carlo, so it's always going to be a little bit processional. There was always that threat of rain. I think the tyres really played a good part, and it was tense. Certainly you held the attention, but not one I'll be reaching back for again to watch as a classic.
It certainly did have that processional feeling, didn't it? But last 10 laps, it certainly livened up, didn't it?
It was great to see the top 5, even 6, within 4 or 5 seconds of each other. I mean, that's under any other circumstances, any other circuit, you'd have had lots of changes of order, but still, I think it made for a really good race, and we've got another different winner in 2012. So great.
Yeah, you mentioned that a 6 different winner this season. Unpredictability continues.
Yeah, and we're off to Canada next, so that's that's always famed for being a McLaren circuit, so it'll be one of the McLarens next time, I'm sure.
And now we're going to see another Red Bull party, and probably Webber jumping in a Red Bull pool.
Jumping out for the yacht again, yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Yeah, I think they'll have a good laugh as long as it... Sod's law, the rain they promise will probably arrive now.
Thoughts on McLaren? Not the strongest weekend, even though they're quickest in free practice, and they're also quickest in free practice in Spain. But it's alright being quickest in free practice, but it's where you end up in the race, and that's where it matters.
You're right. I think without that many pit stops, people running long on the tyres, I think they were going to be at an absolute loss to really get anywhere with any form of strategy, really. So, without a pole position, they weren't really going to be going anywhere. Button really shouldn't have turned up for work today, really. Lewis did as good a job as he probably could with the car in the position, but again, it's a bit lacklustre, and you'd have wanted more from McLaren, but you'd have equally wanted a bit more out of Lotus, given that they also had so much potential and really failed to deliver it.
Well, McLaren, the thing is with McLaren, they started the season off so well, it just makes you wonder, where has their pace gone?
I don't know, I think he'll be back in Canada where you've got more fast corners, more full-on straights, a bit more room, even though the walls are still pretty close in Canada. But no, it'll be another different environment. You can't be quick in every circuit. But they really do have to pull their thumbs out.
Well, I'm going to bring Simon Meddings into the conversation. Simon, how are you?
I'm alright, I'm not too bad, you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Your thoughts on the race?
It was 68 laps of boredom for me, I think. It really was. I think it is the trouble with this race where you can't lap much. You rely on, like we said earlier on, you tend to rely on people crashing, making serious mistakes, bad pit stops. But the last 10 laps really kind of made a good turnaround, I think. But I don't know. Otherwise, I was a bit underwhelmed, really, for me. Great win. He didn't have to do much. Just casually look in his rearview mirror, make sure no one was going to smack him from behind like last time. Otherwise, a bit of a letdown race for me.
You just mentioned for 68 laps more or less, the race was like a procession, but the last 10 laps it did liven up.
It did liven up, yeah. I mean, it was great to see them all so close. I mean, 5 cars together, literally toe to toe. I mean, one harsh break could have really made it exciting. But a serious mistake could have happened on a harsh break. Very controlled, very well driven from all 5 drivers there. One of them could have tried a stupid overtake, stupid turn. Didn't happen. Great win. Good to see Alonso though. Up there on Ferrari to get up there for you could see that how excited he was. Great celebration. But don't you think though that for how massive this race is, how sort of like worldwide everyone turns into this race, how pathetic the end podium scenario is. I mean, is that outside an Aldi? I mean, it's just like some blokes rented this shop for $5 to get out there. Come and stand on my curb for a bit. I'll open the chemist a little bit later on. It's so underwhelming. Apart from the princess giving you a kiss, maybe that's the highlight of the highlight of the race you've seen her. I think for me, that's again my opinion.
And it's ironic that Ferrari, the car isn't the greatest, and yet Alonso's leading the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, but again, though, it's like we said earlier on. I mean, that what happens in this race. That's the trouble. It's the most iconic race in Formula One. Yet you can't do anything at all. It's all about luck. I mean, the safety car has a better chance of winning in this. I mean, but it's true though. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think the most hardest job in this race is if you are winning. Because your complacency can set in, and you can suddenly lose concentration and let your mind go, and suddenly you can be in trouble. I think that's the hardest position to have. He's actually in pole in this race, and I think he did well really to win it. But as I say, it's a bit underwhelming. Did you feel the same on that?
I've just come back from Scratch Radio. I did a live report. I like to see Webber. But no, they asked me who my man of the match sort of person was, and I said Webber because he held on with the tyres going off. Everyone else seemed to have better tyres at the end of the race, and it was Webber who managed to keep his nose clean, made no mistakes, and got on with it. Vettel tried something on the strategy, didn't quite work, but being down the grid he had to. So Mark Webber did well, and I gave him driver of the race. We have to come up with a name for that, a proper F1. We have to give him an award. F1 in pubs.
My heart broke a little bit with Schumacher going out again. It's like, I honestly, when you interviewed me before the race, I really had hopes he would come through on that, and obviously it's a car failure. I don't know if you guys know more than what.
Smack it into a Renault. Into Grosjean. He did into a Lotus. I'm stuck last year.
Oh yeah, he did the jump. Because he wiped out the back wheel, didn't he? At the Lotus.
I was surprised halfway through the race that Michael was still there because he wasn't on coverage at the start. And so didn't he crash? Wasn't he smacked into it at the start? But it was good of him to keep going. To be honest,
I have to admit, I honestly thought the two of them would have gone out. But I mean,
that damage got to him at the end.
Yeah, I think so. I think he rode it well, but kept. I'm so hoping Schumacher can actually. I'm desperate for him to see the podium now. Really, whether it's because I've seen him so many times before. Well, I think he deserves it. Really, I mean, obviously you deserve it if you win the race. Let's not nitpick, but let's go for Schumacher on the next one. Let's hope he pulls it out.
Taking control again. I'm back now because I've lost my podcast. Thanks for that. Great opinions. Where have we been then, Manish? You tell me where you have been and haven't been.
Well, we've spoken to Tim.
You found the social media. You read all that out.
Yes.
Okay. You've done all social media. Great.
I've got the impression that all the people that we've been speaking to have been saying that up to lap 68, the rest is more like a session.
That's 10 laps.
Last 10 laps livened up. So that's
exactly what I would agree with a lot of people here. I'm glad I agree with you all. We've got Martin and Kerry busy tweeting. Maybe they're tweeting me with a hashtag. They're loyal and regular contributors. I'm going to come round and interrupt your table. I know it's your domain. Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I was going to talk about the race, but could have a social event. No. What do you think about the race? Last 10 laps, was it worth the build-up?
Yeah, it was become a bit more exciting towards the end because of. Or is it going to be rain, or is it not going to be rain?
Don't start. I always get disappointed when there's rain predictions. Wait until you see a wet track, then you'll see rain. Because with Formula One, it's like a rating thing. I'm sure of it. It's just they want to keep you watching, so they say, "Oh, definitely rain on the way." But without the rain, would it have been good?
Well, it's the sort of thing that happens in Monaco most of the time. It's the pole position always seems to win because there isn't any much overtaking opportunities in Monaco. And I mean, it was a good race, but it's not as exciting as you think it would be.
Yeah, Monaco can be either really good or really bad. It's either the best race or one of the worst. But Kerry, I've got a more elaborate question for you. McLaren or Ferrari, who's really struggling?
Yeah, I think that they're both struggling, really, aren't they? It's quite a close one. Like they've both got their faults. It's quite. I think for me, it's quite a close one to call, to be honest. So, but yeah.
Do you have much to say about Button?
I was saying this to Martin earlier. It seemed like last season it was Button seemed to be more in front of Hamilton, whereas it seems to be at the moment this year it's swapped round. Like Hamilton seems to be getting better positions, and I don't know what's really going on with Button at the moment. I don't know if he's just having a bad few races, but he just doesn't seem to be doing as well as he was doing. So, but hopefully we'll see him improving in the next couple of races. Hopefully.
This is Canada, which is one of his favourites. Don't forget last year.
Yeah. So fingers crossed.
I think it seems to be that there's going to be a team who are going to do really well on a certain track. As you can tell, six different winners.
That's what I love about. Okay, we haven't got the greatest race, but I love 6 winners out of 6 races. I'd love. Sorry, 5. Well, what have we had? 6. Yeah. So I'd love to see 7 in Canada.
5 different teams.
Yeah. 7 would be great. Who would? I mean, it's got to be Hamilton, or who else is left? Michael, maybe Grosjean. Yeah, and Kimi. So we could actually get to about, if we're lucky and it goes well, we could get to about 8 or maybe 9 if Michael, Kimi, Hamilton pull their acts together. Do you reckon the chances are? Do you reckon someone will actually repeat?
I'm putting. Depends on the weather.
Yeah.
But I would think that it'll be either Button or Schumacher.
Okay, so 50-50 there. Nice. Any prediction for Canada?
Probably have to, but I'd say like you said earlier, like that's Button's favourite one. So hopefully he might grab it next week.
So then, one final look at the hashtag. We've got Daniel PG Hill who says it was the most boring Monaco Grand Prix we've ever seen. Thanks for that, Dan. Yeah, so we've had a great lot of people tweeting along on the hashtag. Vicky Fitzgerald was obviously our boss today. She took over from Peter. Daniel 22910 said Webber looked like he had the race covered halfway through. Yes, he did, and he did have the race covered. He won, and well done to him. So yeah, it's great. Amy Maythorne managed to. She said, "Come on, Mike, and do it for Giraffe." She's actually retweeting Squiffany, who's actually gone. Oh no, there. But the two girls we talked to, the Button fans, I got them on Scratch. I gave them the phone because they asked me a question about Button, so I had to. But yeah, and then there's M the Emu. He made it just in time for the start. Poor Robert Grosjean, but yay for Red Bull. Good. That's a good amount of tweets. I'm actually excited about this. We're interactive. So let's just go over to our quiet little corner and give our final thoughts on the race, Manish. Because last time we got to this, we had the biggest news, I thought, and then I went off and watched a film, and then the Williams fire happened. So Formula One never ends. And looking at the coverage now, annoyingly, there's a rainstorm, a huge rainstorm, which is the most annoying thing you'll ever get in Formula One. An absolute. It's absolutely pouring it down now.
Formula One.
Bernie Ecclestone's got to work on his scheduling because they need to work out this rain thing. They keep missing it, and every time this is why I'm so cynical about the rain. I don't believe rain until I see it. I believe it now because it's there, it's falling. But yeah, would have been a much better race with rain, but not too bad without it. What would you rate the race for the start?
If I had to rate the race, it would be maybe a 6 out of 10. I think we've said it all along throughout the forum, podcast I should say, and I'll say it again. For the majority of the race, up to lap 68, it was a dull race.
Yeah. There was excitement in parts, but it was too much of it, too spread out really.
Yeah, and I guess the only real excitement came on the opening lap where we saw the collision between Grosjean.
That race, that crash, should I say, is actually going to be investigated after.
That's absolutely right.
So, knowing the stewards, they'll try and find a penalty somewhere. The only person I think might be under scrutiny for that one. Lewis made a bad start, but he still maintained his line, so it might be Grosjean veering around, and they may have an issue with lines. But I wouldn't pin. It's a start line accident. You shouldn't really penalise.
It is a racing issue.
He was veering because the car had made a slow start, so he went. So what I wouldn't penalise anyone for that. But the stewards. Again, there's always a difference between what we think is a penalty and what is a penalty in Formula One. What gets a penalty, So yes, we'll see if Grosjean starts with 5 places in the next race. But
it's been very harsh.
Overall,
to give him a drop for that, that would be very harsh.
Okay, but you know what Formula One stewards are like. Anyway, just a final few things then. If you've not seen it, by the way, always Google or go to YouTube and type in who was it now? Connor Daly GP3 crash. That is the biggest crash you'll probably ever see at Monaco, nearly into the harbour. GP2, they had a huge shunt at the start of their race. A huge crash at the start of their race, so there's lots going on, but there's a British 1-2 in the GP2 race, which is nice to see. So it's been a good weekend in Monaco overall. Again, the 6 different winners, 6 races, so I want to keep that streak alive as we head on to the next race in Canada.
Yes.
Predictions quickly then.
You can't call it because it's unpredictable, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What I will say though is that if you remember last year's race, Schumacher was just that close away from finishing on the podium, so he could do well. Jensen, let's not forget, he won last year's race, which was a very entertaining race, and it is a McLaren track.
Yeah, it's true. Traditionally, yes, it is. Lewis won then Button. You're right. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you'll join us in some events, one of the F1 in pubs locations. Scratch Sport will be covering the race somehow, despite the live show being on the afternoon, and we will be podcasting it as well. So please, if you can't get down, then tweet, hashtag us and all that. Lots to talk about. It's been a great Monaco Grand Prix, and hopefully it'll be a great in Canada. So thank you for listening. I've been Paul Hadsley.
And I've been Manish Patel.
And there's been lots of people around the room who probably we should thank for their excellent contributions, and please let's just hope it continues in that way for Canada. Thank you and goodbye.